Can people hear me? You hear me? Got a visit tonight. I'll see my son tomorrow early train. Oh, awesome, man, awesome. Sweet. Sweet as a nut, man. Sweet as a nut. Just working on that bowl that I started ages ago. It's dried out now, so it's not going to crack anymore. So I'm happy enough to carry on with it. Problem is the bottom of it's heartwood, so it's really, really tough. And it's ash as well, and ash is pretty much on par with oak when it comes to toughness. The only difference is it's got a straighter grain. Should really get the old hammer out, but it's a bit late in the evening for that. And I think I'd upset the neighbours a little bit, maybe. So. Hey mate, how's it going? Not too bad. How are you? How are you doing? Been a bit ill lately, but not too bad this evening, so I decided to go live. Normally go live every day, but I ain't been doing too good. So let's switch this round and work on the easy side because it's the evening. I'll do the tough side tomorrow. Can't complain much, man. Awesome, awesome. There's no point in complaining anyway. It don't get you anywhere, does it? Doesn't really get you anywhere having a moan up. Tighten that clamp up and there's some awesome grain in there. What I'm working on, I'm making a bowl at the moment. I started making it the other day. When I brought the wood into the house, it started to crack because obviously the temperature difference is massive compared to the shed in the house. But it hasn't cracked anymore, so I can get away with it. And I've started working on the bottom now. I'm using a U-shaped gouge just to take off the meat, and then I'll go over it with a flat chisel tomorrow. In the daytime, I use a maul, start whacking it. Be easier. You guys have a lot of humidity there? Yeah, we do. Yeah, in the summer it's sort of like 85, 90% humidity, and it's been raining constantly for the last week or so. So. But yeah, it's quite humid. Wet and windy tonight. There's a storm coming in. I'm right on the coast as well, so put my Christmas tree up. Where am I? I'm in the south of England. In West Sussex. Hence the Sussex Bushcraft. That's where I am. It's very rainy all the time. Well, not all the time. We do get the odd day where it's not cloudy and horrible in the winter. Doesn't really snow around here, just as wet. We'll normally carve spoons. There we go. Ah, cool. And there's one of my spoons that I made recently that's made out of ash. It's sported. Is it cool there? What temperature wise? In the summer you can get up to 35 degrees Celsius, centigrade, right? But in the winter, not that cold really. Sometimes it freezes. Very rarely gets snow. Very rarely snows down here because where we are on the south coast, it's actually quite warm. There's another one that I made, a bit more intricate. Spoony. Yeah, I've got a long journey down the west side of the country. The worst weather, yeah, it's going to be really bad in the west, isn't it? Especially like around Wales, around there. How long does it take to make one of these spoons? One of these ones about 2.5 hours. If it's I can churn one of these out in about an hour and a half. Just a basic spoon. But, if I want to go like the intricate handles like that one, it can take a bit longer. It all depends what I'm doing. If I'm live while I'm doing it, it takes longer because I stop and I talk to people and stuff. But if I'm listening to music or got a documentary on or something like that, I probably about an hour and a half to make a normal spoon anyway. About 2 hours to make one of those intricate ones. That's pretty awesome. Also, I make other things as well. There's a walking stick that I carved with a barley twist in the handle. Also carve little wood spirits as well, like little wizards and things. There's a little wood spirit that I carved into an old piece of Christmas tree. Oh, hang on. Any tips for having a beard like yours? I don't really do anything to it. I'll just wash it with beard shampoo and then put a bit of beard conditioner in it every other day. That's about it, really. I'll just let it go. I don't even trim it or anything. It's just all over the place. Cool. By hand. It'll take me days at least. By hand. No, all by hand. All by hand. I'll use hand tools. For this, I'll use a crook knife, which is a bent knife, just to scoop out the bowl. Well, to start off with, I've got loads of ash. My mate owns a forest, so I'll get a lot of trees, logs, decent sized logs. So I'll get a log, I'll split it in half, and then I'll take off planks off the sides into certain widths, and then I'll split them with an axe until they're the right width of a spoon. I'll draw the spoon shape onto it. Then I'll get an axe and I'll trim up basically the rough shape of the spoon and trim the back off. Then I'll use a crook knife or a gouge. You can use a gouge as well sometimes. Crook knife to scoop out the middle, and then I'll finish it off with a little Millie, can you stop? Leave it alone, please. I'll finish it off with a little open L folding knife, tiny little thing. Or I've got a little Mora carving knife. That's what I mainly use. Things like this, I use chisels, basically. You want to make that? Do they pay you well? If you want, I don't sell any of it, mate. It's a hobby. After Christmas, I'm going to start selling it. I made a longbow, like a Mesolithic sort of caveman style bow. And this is a piece of coppice that I fire hardened, straightened it out by using fire. As you can see, it's got the burnt bits on it. I've got a video on that actually. I'll post it soon. And I've made the arrow shaft. I've napped a zoom in on it. Napped a tiny little flint arrowhead to go into it. And my mate's got some fletching, so I can put some feathers on there. And yeah, I was just about to ask, If you can make staffs, canes, something would see in Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I do actually. I made a wizard staff. This is my one. This is because I like it. It's too much to get rid of it. I could probably do a lot better job at this. I made it years ago. But this is a wizard staff, and it's got a wizard's face carved into it, and his beard goes all the way around the staff. That's my wizard staff, which has got a wizard on it. I've actually started another one I need to finish. I'm halfway through making a crossbow as well, which would be pretty cool once it's done. But that's my wizard staff. I'm going to make another one, but I'm going to try and make it out of something like oak. But I need to find the right piece of wood because oak doesn't grow very straight. And I want the colours. I want one with a bit more colour to it and a bit more character. Could make one out of blackthorn actually. That would be quite cool. But I need to get hold of a big piece of blackthorn. But as I say, my mate owns a forest, so I can pretty much get what I want timber wise. I started making a chopping board the other day, but it started to crack, which is annoying, so I'm going to leave it for now. But just a basic chopping board. That's it there. Just a big lump of ash, which is about 1.5 inches thick. What are you doing, mate? In a minute, just wait a second, I'll get you some scissors. But I'm going to bring that in and I'm going to oil it, so hopefully it won't crack anymore. Hopefully. Scissors, you want it? Yeah. There you go. Okay. Cheers, man. Thank you. It's started making these out of scraps as well, little fairy doors to put on tree stumps. So you put it on the tree stump with a little path going across it. There's a wooden drinking cup called a cookser, which I carved recently out of sycamore, spalted sycamore that is. And it's just like a little wooden bushcraft for drinking your tea or whatever you want your water out of, which is cool. Started another wizard the other night. Just need to finish him. The majority of the wood is ash. Yeah, well, I use ash for like tool handles and spoons. Ash for tool handles and spoons. I made an axe handle the other day, which is pretty cool. I use hazel for walking sticks. That's hazel. That's an old Christmas tree. I like using cherry as well. Cherry's good for spoon making. This is a little cherry camping spoon that I made. It's got you can see the heartwood and it's beautiful. Oak's a bit of a nightmare to use because you're constantly sharpening your tools. But I do use oak. I've made some oak spoons. I've got a few in my box. I can't be able to get them out there. I've got a load of oak in the shed actually that needs using because it's taking up too much room now. So I need to start. I might carve some faces out of it. It all depends. All depends what I've got really to what I use. Mainly for spoons, ash, because it just splits so straight and you can make a decent blank out of it. And it's got a pretty decent grain. Like this is spalted ash, so the fungus started growing through the tree as it was dying, and that's why it's that colour. Do I sell stuff? Not at the moment. I will be after Christmas, so I'm going to set up a web page where I'm selling stuff on it. Yeah, that's ash. It's hard to see on camera, but the grain in it looks marbled as you look round it. It's really, really cool looking. The cherry's nice. Cherry's lovely, and apple, plum, any fruit tree, you'll get a really, really nice grain in it. It'll look really good once it's oiled. And that's what I do with them when I finish them. I either use if it's tool handles and faces, I use boiled linseed oil. But if it's like bowls and things that you're going to eat off of, I use like a cutting board oil. That one, it's mineral oil or like tung oil as well. It's quite good, or walnut oil. I'm rebuilding an old cider press at the moment, which is going to be good for next apple season. I'm going to make some cider again, like I used to. Make some raw cider. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's wicked, man. If you look in this cook set that I made, this had the fungus in it there. And you can see like you can see all the dark spots where it actually goes all the way through the tree. That's pretty cool. It looks good in ash as well. That's why, like, if you're making things, sometimes like the fresh timber, freshly cut timbers, all right. But you know, if you like making furniture or something, you know, or like tool handles, it's really good. But if you want to make like an interesting looking spoon or a face, it's better to have it a bit spalted. And you get like that. Because these are the same wood, different tree obviously, but these are the same woods. Actually, is it the same tree? We left one on the floor on purpose in the forest, so it would go like this. It might actually be from the same tree, but 2 years before this piece of wood, and this one's 2 years, obviously, like after it was felled. But they're my favourite ones to make, the old spoons with the twizzly handles on them, the little plats. They're pretty cool. I also do like flint knapping as well. I make the stone tools and stuff like that. I've got a load of deer antlers that I've been making into flint working tools. I do a lot of foraging in the spring and the end of the summer. I'm more of a fruit picker. I know all my fruit trees and all my different berries and stuff like that. That's my main thing. But I do know quite a few edible plants because I did countryside management at college, and I did animal and plant biology. So we learnt a lot of plants. You know, like your garlic mustards, your herb roberts, your lesser celandines, all your different. Not your garlic mustard, I think I said that already. Wild garlic, Ramson's, crow garlic, you name it. Lots of different things to pick up. You can eat the leaves on certain trees as well. You can eat the young leaves off of a silver birch. You can eat leaves off a hawthorn, which I actually really like the leaves off of a hawthorn. They taste like lettuce. They're quite nice actually. Beech trees, you can eat the leaves off of beech trees. You can even eat beech nuts as well, which is cool. So I'm not just some idiot who sits there commenting on other people's videos. I don't know if you've seen my content or not. I do a lot of reaction videos. You know, those stupid survival hack videos where they're chopping up tin cans and cooking things in tuna tins and stuff like that. I'll just do a little reaction video to that. I do longer videos as well. If you check out my last 2 videos, they're two-parter. I'll go up to my friend's forest and I'll start a friction fire with a bow drill and cook some pork and make some bread on a fire and collect loads of stuff. I made a big holly wreath to go outside the house for Christmas. I spent all day collecting bits of felled willow. Nice. Willow. It's not good for anything. It depends. If it's what was it, like a weeping willow? It all depends what it is, because willow is actually quite good. Willow works really well as a coppice. And basket weaving, you can actually split it down the middle and make really cool baskets out of it, especially if you soak it in water. It all depends on what willow. I mean, cricket bats are made out of willow, hence why they call them cricket bat willows. It all just depends on what you want to do with it, really. If you're carving like faces and stuff like that and doing ornate things, it's actually pretty good wood to use. Obviously, willow bark has can't remember the name of the acid in it now, which is the same as aspirin. It's a good tree for finding water as well. They grow in wet ground. Yeah, I like to learn new survival and knowing what you can eat and use. It's one of those things. It's you've really got to do your research. Really, you can't just sort of jump into it. I mean, like, especially when it comes to mushrooms. I've been learning mushrooms for 3 years now, and I'm still not confident enough. It takes a very long time. There's so many different mushrooms that look the same, and a lot of them will kill you. So well, not all of them will kill you, but they mess you up anyway. So it's a bit of a nightmare. A lot of the mushrooms, a lot of the bracket funguses and stuff are really good for starting fires. They hold a spark really well if you dry them out and process them right. Like the Oh, what's it called? My brain's gone dead. I hate it when it does that. The Ganoderma applanatum, that's it, the artist bracket. If you dry it out and smash it up, it turns into like a velvet, and you scrape it with a knife and you can flick a spark on it and it'll hold the spark really, really well. Yeah, dog willow or common willow. I researched it. Didn't look good. I'm leaving it outside longer. See if it goes nice colours. Yeah, too hot, man. Wonder if we have willow in America. Yeah, you have willow in America. I'm sure you do. I know they have it in North America because like things like ptarmigan and what are those little birds that are like a partridge you guys have over there? Can't remember what they're called now. I'm so tired. What are they called? Those little pheasant-like birds. Can't remember what they're called. You got to have swampy area. There are swampy areas a bit more in the south. No, not quail. They're more like a partridge or a pheasant. What are those birds that they shoot, Thomas? You're all cleverer than me. In America. Not ptarmigan. It is like a ptarmigan. I can't remember the name on that. My brain's gone dead. Huh? Search it. I can't search it up. I'm on my phone. Has your phone got battery? Oh, right, don't worry. Grouse. No. Yeah, I think it's grouse actually. Yeah, it might be grouse. What about psilocybin mushrooms? We've got the Liberty Cap. Nah. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, I think it's grouse actually. Yeah, grouse with the little red bits and the fluffy, the feathery feet. Grouse, very similar to a ptarmigan. Yeah, we don't have anything like Panalius senescens and stuff like that, but we have the Liberty Cap. But that's not really my thing. Maybe when I was younger, but not these days. I mean, where I am, you'll find a lot of Agaricus augustus, which is like the prince, like the big field mushrooms. Massive things they are. They're really nice. A lot of chicken of the woods, hedgehog mushroom, lots of boletes, lots of different types of boletes, chlorophyllum rhacodes, the shaggy parasol, lots of parasol as well. I want to think what else. What else have I found this year? Oh, honey fungus. Oh gosh. Yeah, there was loads of honey fungus at your school, wasn't there? Pheasant. Yeah, we got pheasants around here. There's pheasant central around here. There's a lot of shoots. We've got a lot of hills. So I did gamekeeping at college, and I think one year I worked for a bloke and they reared 40,000 pheasants to put on the land. So there's a lot of birds about. They do a lot of pheasant shooting. It's a bit different over here. In America, I think you guys have them in crates and then you let them go into some scrub and then walk around and shoot them. In England, they're kept on the land in an open topped feed ride. It's like a fence with an open top, and they've got pop holes in them so the pheasants can get in and out. When you feed them there every day, they can get out whenever they want, but it's a safe place for them to hide from foxes, badgers, and stuff like that, so they can get out of the way. And then what we do is every winter, October to the end of January, I think, pheasant season is. You get loads of people called beaters. And what they do is you walk you get a big line of people walking through the woods and you encircle them on top of a hill. And then the whole idea is to get a couple to fly off at a time. And you have about 6 or 7 blokes down the bottom with shotguns, shooting them as they fly over. That's what I did at college. I used to go pheasant shooting quite a lot, but not so much these days. I mainly shoot squirrels and things like that now. The squirrels are good. They taste nice. Don't mind squirrel. Rabbit, do a lot of rabbit shooting. Not as many rabbits around as there used to be when I was a kid. They were absolutely everywhere when I was a kid. Yeah, when you're beating and scaring the pheasants up the hill, you get a lot of shot falling down the back of your neck. They wear a scarf to stop all the bloody bird shot from coming down, going down your back. Duck shoots are mental over here. I've been to some proper crazy duck shoots, shooting at the ducks. Let's get some horse fungus because I want to do a firelighting video where you get a horse fungus and you dry it out and you strip it down into strips and then you dry it out, rough it up, and then you get if you go down the beach, there's naturally occurring iron porites, which is like a natural iron. Excuse me. And you get a piece of flint and you can knock the not really dull spark, but you can get it to catch. What city are you in or town? I'm not going to say on the internet exactly where I am, but I actually live in a village. Village is just there, and the town's probably. So I lost me then. The town's about half an hour that way. What's the best recommendation for a torch? I don't really do all these sort of technology kit things. I bought a fishing headlight, a rechargeable one for about 25 quid on Amazon, and that's what I use. But I generally steer away from using torches when I'm out in the woods because I've got where I go is private land and I've got permission to be there. So what I do is I just have a big fire going, and I don't really walk around the woods at night because you know, you can always break your ankles or skewer yourself from a tree and stuff like that. So it's just get all the firewood sorted in the daytime, just sit around the fire, cook, have a beer or two maybe, depends. All depends on the situation, but I generally don't. I'll use it if I want to do something intricate or something like that, but I generally don't use them that much. Especially in the summer, it's only dark for 6 hours here in the summer, so it's not, you know. Does the fungus on the wood make it harder to carve? No, it makes it easier to carve. Unless it was something like heartwood or ironwood or wenge or something like that. It wouldn't really make a difference. But when it's ash, it actually makes it a lot softer. Like this is a solid piece of ash. It's the heartwood of ash. This bowl that I'm carving. So it's rock hard basically. But if it was like elm or something like that, that's really tough. Is it elm? No, I'm thinking of a different wood. My mind goes blank when I'm put on the spot. Have you seen all this about that CEO in America? No, I don't even watch TV, man. I'm a really boring person. I'll look up like Mesolithic stone making, blade making techniques and stuff. That's the sort of thing I'll watch. I only watch like informational stuff really. I don't really bother with any of the popular sort of stuff that people watch. Don't watch the news. Sound's going. That's all right. One. Can you still hear me? Can you hear me now? Hear me now. Let me switch this off. Kind of Batman sort of thing. I don't know what you mean, bud. What do you mean, Geese? Is the sound better now? Is it good? Should be good. Unless one of my microphones broken. Like he's pulled this better. Oh, right, okay. Oh, right, I see what you mean. Yeah, that sounds fine. Better. That's all right. Yeah, sweet, isn't it? Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, he just decided to go out and take the law into his own hands. Yeah, I did probably do us a favour in America. Ah, fair play. As I say, I'm not really an expert on the subject, so I wouldn't really know. But yeah, the gene pool, yeah, fair play. I got the NHS, thank you, thankfully. Yeah, man. Good old NHS. And the legends are still on the run. Fair play, man, fair play. Lots of places to hide in America, I suppose. A lot harder to hide in England. CCTV cameras everywhere. Trying to get the outside of this round, it'd be a lot easier with a bolster. A hammer, sorry. They got on the CCTV shooting. Oh, savage, man. Just a little sharper. Gotta go. Later, man. Enjoy yourself. Oh, Sticks, man. How's it going? How you doing, man? I finished my arrow shaft that I was making. What I'm up to? That bowl I started ages ago. It's nice and dried out now. So well, it's dry anyway. It's just that when you bring wood into the house, it becomes different. So I'm working on that bowl that I started. But yeah, my arrow shaft's done. I've got another 2 to make. My mate's got me some fletching. I can't find any big enough feathers, but he's an archer, so he's like, I've got loads of fletching at home if you want some. I was like, yeah, that'll do me nicely. So next time he pops around, he's going to drop some fletching off for me. It's handy knowing all these people, all these bushcrafty people. He's really cool, actually. He's the one who's got a fire engine, an old fire engine, old airport fire engine. It's really cool. And he does all the chainsaw work up my mate's woods. And he bought me this round, my favourite gouge. He even bought me this, which was a sharpening stone from World War One. It was in its original box. I've got the box somewhere. Stuff like the really old school sort of cool stuff that you don't really see anymore. You know, because I've got your big whetstones and all that sort of stuff. But that little sharpening stone's a little demon for just touching things. You know, just making things just a little bit sharper. So I've got all the bits now. The only thing I'm missing is pine resin. But I need to get some pine resin. But yeah, man. And then obviously there's my strop, which I use my little leather strop made out of a bit of leather. That's what I use for my knives, because once you get your knives really sharp, you don't need to put them to stone. You just strop them, and they stay. It puts a nice edge on it. I made my little arrow tip. I need to make some more. I need to find some decent flint though. This was really hard to make. This tiny little arrowhead. But I need to get a decent big bit of flint. I went up the beach the other day. I went fishing with my mate, and he was like, "Do you want to go sea fishing?" I was like, "You won't catch anything this time of year." And he was like, "I had a bass out yesterday," and I was like, "Oh well maybe. I quite fancy a bass." Just maintain it with a strop. Yeah, 100%. I really like that knife you made out of that file. Absolutely brilliant, man. That looks pucker. I mean, like proper spot on, man. I'm well impressed with that, to be honest with you. I think that looks bloody amazing, man. If you ever fancy making another one, I'll do you a swap. I'll carve you whatever you want, and I'll swap. I'll do a fair trade with you. I'll send you a load of spoons. I'll make you a bowl, or chuck in a couple of axe handles. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure we can come to some sort of arrangement. Yeah, the big one, mate. Yeah, the big one. Something similar to that. Spot on, man. Absolutely spot on. Yeah, just looks cool, man. Even with the original divots from the file on it, you know, it looks brilliant, man. Trying to harden the edge once I figure it out. I'll definitely make one for you. Yeah, that'd be cool, man. That'd be cool. And I'll carve you a few different things that you need or want, or whatever. You know, I'm more than happy enough to do a fair swap. Just let me know in advance, and I'll get on the case. I'll send you one of my fancy spoons, and then a couple of practical ones that you can use when you're camping. So, do you remember me? Probably. I don't know, man. I get a few people coming through on these lives, so unless you're a regular, I think it's going to be quite hard to remember who you are. And why is this easier on this side? It's easier to carve it on this side than it was on the other side. I'm doing the same bit that I was struggling with earlier on. It's just gliding. I think it's because I'm going up instead of down. Because that's absolutely peeling now, which is what we like. Nice sharp tools. Yeah, I don't know. I sort of recognise your name. I don't know. I've got a couple of big ash logs. I think I'm just going to cut the heartwood out of them and use the softwood to make some more bowls. Carve's so nice. Oh, that's just taking chunks out now. It's doing really well. Trying to harden the edge. I. Yeah, I'd have to put my own chroma glasses on if I was going to do something like tempering a blade, because it's all about colours and I'm colourblind. So I'd have to put my put my colourblind glasses on. I've never clue. It's got to be an orangey red, and I'm just thinking to myself, what's orangey red? Everything looks brown. You know, what's going on? You know, like my brown jumper that I'm wearing. I remember I left my hoodie around my mate's house once, and I was like, I left my hoodie around your house. He's like, oh, all right, mate. What does it look like? And I was like, it's brown. He's like, there ain't no brown hoodie here, mate. And I'm like, well, it's definitely brown. And then my other mate who was there, he goes, it's fucking green, mate. And I was like, oh, my green hoodie. And he's like, yeah, there's green hoodie here. I hit it with a blowtorch first attempt. Didn't seem to work, so we've got to talk to Nick again. Yeah, fair play here, though, wouldn't he? My mate, the one who's got the ambulance that I was on about, he's ambulance fire engine. He made an old school Roman style forge years ago out of bricks and clay, out of like adobe. He got it so hot he was melting steel in it, like it was liquefying steel in it. I was like, oh mate, we need to do that up the woods. He's like, I'm up for it anytime you want. I was like, well, I've got 50 kilos of clay in the shed. Or we could go down the beach and get a load of clay and make a load of daub and knock one up. I think that'll make a cool video. Orange glow, the white glow, then rapid cooling. That's it. Yeah, do it in oil, warm oil. I remember having to go at tempering a machete when I was younger. I've still got the machete. It's my favourite tool. It's what I use for the garden. But I'll tell you what happened to it. It was like a Montana, like big cold steel machete, and I'd sharpened it so much. I think I was getting to the softer steel. So I decided that in my eternal wisdom, I made a like a kiln in my back garden, and I heated it up, and I think I got it just right, and then I dunked it in the oil, and I did it too quickly, and it went like that, boom, and I was just like, what the fuck happened to that? And I smacked it on the log just to see what it did, and the end come off of it, and I was like, yeah, that's well dangerous. That is. I think I've mullered that, but luckily enough, the bottom part of it was all right. I might actually take a file to it and just turn it into a big knife, but it was one of those learning experiences that you have, you know, where you're just like, well, that didn't work. I've got my sharpening stones. I need to sharpen up that axe that I made. That's good. Yeah, warmish. Yeah, I've got a mate who's an engineer. He does a lot of metal work and stuff like that. You know, he's like, oh, if you want to do stuff like that, just give us a shout. I'll help you. To be fair, I've got like quite a few different thermometers. You know, like the ones that you that get the temperature without actually touching the metal. And my mate actually bought one of the ones that goes up to about 1500 degrees years ago. How's it going, bro? Not too bad. How are you, man? How are you doing? This knife was glowing orange. I thought it was going to bend in a minute. Yeah, I'll bend it. I need a video call with Mick. Yeah, definitely do it, man. Definitely do it. Call him while you're doing it. Say, dude, I'm doing it now. Like, I need your help. Please help me, because I'm one of those people. I can read up about it and look at all this stuff and all that, and I won't be able to do it. I've got to see. Normally, it's only once or twice you need to show me when it comes to doing stuff like that, but I need to see with my own eyes to be able to do it. Like, I've always been lucky enough to have like an ability, like when I'm carving. If like I say, if I can picture it in my head, I can make it. If I can't, then there's no chance of me making it. So if someone says, "Oh, could you carve me a dog?" I'm like, "Nah." And they're like, "Couldn't you try?" I'm like, "No, I can't. I can't physically manifest the 3D image in my head. It's probably not going to happen." So, but yeah, you can walk me through it. Yeah, definitely. But I have to be able to see it in my mind's eye to be able to create it. Like the bow and like the flint napping and stuff like that. I can do the bow making. I actually I find bow making quite relaxing, to be fair. It's quite a good one. I need to make a decent, proper big old longbow soon. I've seen it. I've watched lots of videos, listened to Mick, but I'm still missing something. I think it is one of those things. It's like an art, isn't it? It's like an art form, man. Yeah, flint napping is one of those ones though. It's sort of like you have to sort of work it out as you go along, because every piece of flint's different and it all fractures in different ways and it all acts differently. Each lump of flint is like learning a new trick. If you watch like Will Lord, I mean that bloke's like the expert, isn't he? And his dad, John Lord, as well. Oh, there we go, blurry. John Lord, he's actually really good as well. But if you watch those guys, they'll tell you how much of a cruel mistress napping flint must be. But I don't go for anything fancy. I just make simple tools. Definitely ain't as simple as heat and shape it. Oh, 100%. It's a nightmare. I mean, you get little fossils inside the flint as well, you know. But they reckon it comes from fossilised sea sponge silica, don't they? That's what a flint is. But there's some big old chalk cliffs around here, and we got flint on our beaches. I did find one piece of flint, and it was sort of ringing out like a bell, and as I was tapping it, it snapped in half, and I was like, no, I can't do anything with that. But a lot of it, you know, if you pick it up on the beach, it's going to be rolled over by waves, and it's going to be all cracked, micro fractures inside and stuff like that, which makes a little bit of an issue. You all right, Millie? Getting your drink. Problem with wearing dungarees when you're carving, you always end up with a big pocket full of sawdust. Really annoying. What I really want is a bowl maker's ads. Then I can carve some pretty objects. I wonder if my mate needs anything. Because what I'll do is, instead of him paying me, I'll get him to order me something. That's how I got my microphone. Instead of paying me, order me something. This is what I need. Hopefully you and Lee Roberts will meet. He's a proper bushcrafter. Sweet as a nut, man. Yeah, it's cool. It's always good to learn new things off of people, different ways of doing things. Bushcraft's like fishing. There's always something new. There's always a different way of doing things. Someone always does something differently. It's good, man. Hey, 2024 Christmas. Hey. Christmas time. Yeah, I've been doing bushcraft since I was about 16. I've been sort of obsessed with the countryside and being outside and forests and trees and wild foods. It's been one of my lifelong hobbies, as it were. Oh yeah, there's so much involved in bushcraft. From you know, like you've got. But one of the main things I think is very important in bushcraft is anthropology, and how tribes and ancient people, paleoanthropology as well, how ancient peoples used to do things, and how living in nature, you know, because as like Ray Mears says, you carry your knowledge with you and your muscles and your mind. It's not more of about what equipment you've got; it's about what you can do and what you can utilize in the woods. You know, I could happily go up the woods if my heart weren't knackered. When they fix my heart, I'm going to do more of these sort of videos. But I'll go up the woods with just what I'm wearing, and I'll make, you know, like I'll make myself a blade out of flint, start a fire with a friction set, make myself a little shelter, you know, just sleep out. Down to mowing, bird calls, tracking, animal behaviour. Yeah, 100%. You can see how fast an animal's running just by looking at its tracks. You can see if it's lame. You can see where it's stopped and had a rest, and you know, there's so many different things. Like we were up the woods with my mate, and he's sort of like a city boy, and I was like, deer have been through here, and he's like, I can't see any tracks. I was like, yeah, but if you look at the grass, the way the grass has been moved and it's bent over, so if you keep following that, you'll find some tracks in the mud. And we kept walking, and then you can see the tracks in the mud. I was like, there he is. That's where he's been. That's where he's going. He was startled. He was running. Lots of different things. Like knowing animal behaviours is so important to hunting and trapping. You know, like you see these people making traps and stuff like that, but what they don't mention is that you've got to know where the animals are to trap them. You can stick as many traps out in the woods as you want. You know, if it's in the wrong place, you won't catch anything. I did I knew a lot of did a lot of trapping when I was at college. But that was all part of the gamekeeping, like trapping rabbits, snaring rabbits, squirrels, birds, catching birds in larson traps. Magpies are really hard to catch because they're a bit more intelligent than your average bird, but you can get them. Turns out I know nothing. You'd be surprised, man. You'd be surprised what you know and what you don't know. I mean, it's handy to know what trees can be used for different things. You know, what wood burns better for certain things. You know, like if you're gonna make a big fire to cook on, oak's always a good one because it just turns into coal. And a lot of things I see a lot of people when they're like cooking with Dutch ovens and cast iron pots and stuff like that. They've got a roaring fire underneath. And me personally, if I'm cooking something with a Dutch oven, what I do is I cut loads of long logs about the yay thick, and what I do is I make a fire and I've got a coal bed, and I'll pile the coal bed up into like a sort of like a pyramid sort of shape, and then I'll put one log on it, and it'll just produce one flame, and then I use that for frying, so it doesn't get too hot. So it's like with your stove, when you turn the gas up and down, if you pull the log backwards, the flame gets smaller. If you push it in forwards, it gets bigger. So you're controlling the actual heat source. You know, stuff like that. Just like little things like that can make life a lot easier. You don't end up with all your sausages and bacon and all that just sticking to your Dutch pan and stuff. There's just lots and lots of little things you can do just to make that slight difference. You know, like baking bread. I love baking bread out in the woods. Prolific bread maker. What are you doing to the tree, Minnie? Oh, Tommy. Oh, you're putting your Christmas decorations on there. That's fine. I just wondered what you were doing. Okay, you can do that. Just anything you get in there. Open Pandora's box. Yeah, man. There's so many different things. I can't wait for the spring when the St. George's mushrooms start popping up everywhere. They're everywhere around here. They're really good mushrooms. And then you get things like ribes as well. The the red flowering red currants or whatever they're called. Ribe, I call them ribes. They have pink flowers on them, and you can eat the little flowers off of them. They taste really nice. They're decent, man. And then all the different greens and stuff that pop up, like your wild lettuce. Obviously, your dandelions as well. Dandelion leaves are lovely in the salad. Oh, this is proper sporty, this is. Obviously, wild garlic's one of the easiest ones to identify. And the three-cornered leeks as well, they're taking over around here. A lot of garlic mustard, and every time I see garlic mustard, I get the seed pods off of them at the end of the year and just throw seeds everywhere. So there's a park near us, and it's just absolutely covered in wild garlic mustard, where I've been lobbing them everywhere. No, I haven't. I've eaten dandelion roots roasted on coals, but I've never tried it as a coffee. But the old dandelion roots are nice. And I've tried lesser celandine roots as well. You can't eat the actual plant of the lesser celandine; it's poisonous. But the roots, if you cook them up, they're like little mini potatoes. They look like lesser celandine. Looks like yeah. Apparently, you can make coffee out of the seed pods as well if you can take all the fluff off of them. Like pendulous sedge as well. That's another one that our ancestors used to use. They used to use it. It's like a wild wheat, sort of. Well, not a wheat, but it's a similar sort of grain. and they used to blanch it and then winnow it and then make like a little biscuit out of it and eat that. But the amount of effort compared to something like wheat and stuff. You know the grass that people when you're kids and you take it off and you throw it at each other like darts. You remember? You know that stuff? You see it everywhere in the summer. That's wild barley. That is, believe it or not. You can eat that. That's edible. You can grind the seeds up for that. Make sort of like a little mini loaf out of it. What's up, Millie? You can, and then Thomas has got to go to bed because it's getting late. Thomas is done. Yeah, you can eat the old wild barley. Obviously, you got your burdock roots as well. Yeah, it's wild barley, man. Those little hair bits that stick off, if I remember rightly from college, they're called awns. And if you look at barley's got awns on it as well. It's a type of wild barley. You can munch on that. It is edible. It's just a nightmare to process, so people generally just don't do it. I'm just doing my Sweden. This is a job for the morning when I can make loads of noise. Really, I'm just peeling away at it. Oh, wrong way. Not really making much headway. But that's the inside of the bowl. Starting to look bowly, and that's the outside of the bowl. So I've started shaping round here, round here. Just gotta get it roundish. And what I might do is sand the absolute life out of the inside, and then make myself a pestle or mortar. I can't remember which one's which, but I'll use it for grinding up stuff in, which I think would be pretty cool. Making stuff in there. But yeah, man, that's a wild barley, that is. Type it into Google, have a butcher's when you've got 5 minutes. Wild barley. Where did I put my box for my head? For my microphone. Yeah, man, there's lots of different things. Wild edibles and stuff. A lot of them taste horrible because they're really bitter because they haven't been domesticated, but they keep you alive in a survival situation. I mean, burdock root's nice. Even like sea kale that you get on the beach. Obviously, it's illegal to dig up roots anywhere in public without the landowner's permission. But sea kale roots, you dig those up, and they're actually really they're full of nutrients. They're really good. Obviously, you've got like your sea cabbage, seaweed's edible. If you go down to the beach where we are, it's absolutely covered in periwinkles. Mussels, a lot of mussels about. Don't mess around with mussels. I'm too scared to get the 2 bob bits. But yeah, there are mussels. I want to go somewhere where there's razor clams. I really want to eat razor clams, which is really annoying because before my heart messed up, my missus is Portuguese and we used to go out to Portugal quite a lot. And we used to use them for bait over there. Use razor clams as bait. And like float fishing for mackerel off of a harbour, mad. But yeah, we're using razor clams as bait. But I really want to. I should have just said, can we go and eat them somewhere to my brother Fabio? But I just didn't think of it at the time. I ate some snails over there, the old cadaquosh. They're actually a lot better than you expect. I thought they were going to be horrible, slimy little things, but they're just like a periwinkle basically. They taste really good. But that's one thing I like about Portugal. They all go out fishing for their lunch and their dinner and stuff. You know, they go out and get dinner. You know, you don't have to go hungry. Oh man, you would love Florida. Yeah, I would. I probably would absolutely love Florida, mate. Go and see the Everglades and all that. That'd be cool. But yeah, we're around my missus's nan's house, and her dad come in with a bloody great big conger eel. And we had conger eel for lunch. It was just it's so good. Octopus and squid and cavella, the old mackerel, cavella. We caught loads of mackerel and we salted them and dried them out in the sun. Then whacked them on the barbecue, man. Just spot on, man. Just spot on. Really nice. Dorada. You know, Dorada's nice. A lot of sea bream. Met a lot of sea bream out there. I think Dorada was probably one of my favourite fish. It's quite a sought after fish over there. Squid. stuffed with peppers and chorizo, and put in a big pressure cooker, and then they just melt in your mouth. And they're just, oh man, I absolutely love seafood. Well, I live on the coast, you know, and it's where I'm from originally was a fishing village, so they'll have all the fish stalls out on the beach and people selling crab and lobster and all that. And there is a place near me actually, but seafood's getting expensive nowadays. But yeah, just some really and let's put it this way: there's nothing out of the sea that I won't eat. I will eat anything that comes out of the sea. I don't do seafood since a kid. How fair play, man. Yeah, I'm from a fishing village. Awesome, man. Awesome. Sweet as a nut. Sweet. But unfortunately, it was completely destroyed from the hurricane 2 years ago. Oh, harsh, man. Harsh. That's harsh. Yeah, that's savage, man. All those memories just blown away. You know, it's just terrible. But yeah. Seafood, mate. So good. I make a lot of fish pie, fisherman's pie. So you get like haddock, cod, some salmon, prawns, and then you put them in a big pie dish, and then you cover them in cream, like a cream and parsley sauce, and then you put mashed potatoes over the top and bake it in the oven. And oh man, great, a bit of cheese on top. Oh, I need to make one of those. I haven't made one of those for a while, and it's winter. It's fish pie time. I need to make a fish pie. Next time my missus is going shopping on Monday, I'm going to ask her to get some fish. Unfortunately, Helga has been basically destroyed from this hurricane. Yeah, that's just harsh, man. It's like whole people's lives just completely gone, washed away, and just destroyed. I remember seeing stuff about the old storms out there are really bad. I've only ever witnessed a tornado once in my life, or a hurricane. I can't remember which one it is. Is it tornadoes that come off the sea, or hurricanes? I can't remember. But where I used to live, it's very rare for England. But we actually had I think it was a tornado, and this thing just ripped. I mean, I've never heard anything so loud in my life. I must have been about 15 or 16. It was late 90s, early 2000s, and it went down this industrial estate, and there was this weeping willow, and it must have been about 6 foot in circumference, and it just snapped it like a twig, just absolutely destroyed it. Oh, okay, yeah, cool. But yeah, it snapped. This tree was a monster, and it just snapped it like a twig. It ripped all the roofs off of the factories, basically flattened one of our local shops. It went down. Luckily enough, the road it went down, all the houses were built in World War II with the big 9-inch thick brick-built bloody almost bomb-proof walls. So it only ripped the roofs off the houses. It didn't flatten the houses, but it took the roofs off, destroyed all the gardens and everything like that. And if one of the kids I went to school with got picked up by it and thrown across the road and broke both his arms. Sounds like a freight train. It does. It's so noisy. Because like my house was here, and the road goes like that, and it literally went down that road there, and I was like, what is going on? You know, like that is the worst noise I've ever. They had the fire brigade going around checking people's houses and stuff, and it was completely insane, man. Absolutely insane. And then there was one a few years back, but it was out at sea, and it didn't really do much. It just like a big water spout, basically. I think that's the name for it. But yeah, they do. It's what I imagine the old big guns on the old boats in World War II when they're firing at the Normandy beach landing. Those big shells going over the top of your head, you know, constantly just woof, 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 going over the top. That's what I imagine that to sound like. It was just, yeah, it's very scary, I think the word for it. It's very unnerving. It just makes you think, what? Thomas, mate, it's bedtime, man. It's getting late, really late. It's just one of those things. Good night, mate. Yeah, I've seen. That was absolutely the most terrifying thing I've seen. Yeah, it's scary. Luckily enough, it didn't go on for very. it was gone just as quickly as it came. But it was yeah, it was mad, especially for like somewhere like this where you don't normally see them. It was just completely out of the blue. Oh yeah, it's wet here as well, man. I'm probably about an hour and 15 minutes away from Lewis. Not too far, really. Maybe less, actually, because I always judge things on where I used to live, and I actually live closer to Lewis now. But yeah, it's wet. It's not windy yet, though. That storm hasn't hit properly yet. It's I think it's about 3 o'clock in the morning, isn't it, when it's gonna really. Yeah, Arundel way-ish. Yeah. That's where I am, around there. Yeah, Arundel, where the castle is, but I'm more along the coast. I'm closer to the coast. Well, I suppose the coast is probably about the same distance. What's the time there? It is 21:52, so it's 10 to 10, basically, in the evening. Getting later. I'm a bit of an owl, though. I don't go to bed until like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, so terrible for it. What the trees tomorrow? Dead ash too, roadside. Oh, mate, 60-mile-an-hour gusts tomorrow. Yeah, the old ash trees, the old dieback, innit? My mate's got a tree surgeon that goes down to his woods, and he took down a few ash trees because they were getting pretty much just about to flop over. So he took them down. That's why I've got an abundance of ash. Most of my stuff I make is made out of ash at the moment. But yeah, it's going to be a windy one. I remember years. Yeah, I was a hod carrier for years, carrying bricks up ladders for bricklayers. And we went on site one day, and scaffold boards on all the lifts were going like that. And my boss was like, "Yeah, we're going home. We ain't doing anything here today." Been playing for ages. Hits on hire. We'll crack it out. Okay, yeah, fair play, man. Just be careful, look after yourself. But you know what you're doing anyway, don't you? How did I get into carving? Well, I started getting into stuff like this when I was about 9 years old. There was a series on TV. They're all on YouTube, and it's called The Bush Tucker Man, and it's done by Australia. He was a general in the Australian Army, and he went around Australia camping and exploring wild foods and stuff like that, and learning from the Aborigines how to survive. So I started watching that, and then I got into Ray Mears, who's another survival expert, and I remember him. He like makes spoons as well. Like when he's out in the woods, if he needs a spoon, he'll make a spoon. Makes axe handles. He went to Canada and made a birch bark canoe and all this sort of stuff. And that's sort of like what sparked me into carving. And when I was about sort of 16, I started going out camping in the woods, like with my mates and stuff. And I started making things. I started making like walking sticks and like really basic sort of spoons. And that's sort of where it stemmed from. So I've been sort of carving and doing bushcraft for about 23 years. That's how long I've been doing it for. Listen out for emergency trees, don't. Yeah, man, you've got to keep your eye on it. Yeah, it's one of those things, man. Dodgy. But that's how I got into bushcraft. Major James Leslie Hiddins was my hero too. Yeah, same here, man. I watched them all again recently. I was like, I love this program. And then he does one. Ray Mears does an episode called Ray Mears Walkabout, where he goes out with Les when he's an old boy, and they go out, and it's just quality, mate. Yeah, James Hiddins, that's it. Always used to walk around with that big revolver on his side. Oh, absolute legend, mate. The Bush Tucker man. I can watch them over and over and over again. I find it fascinating. Very, very interesting. You met Ray in Brighton? Oh, sweet, man. Sweet. Nice. He's a genuine bloke, isn't he, old Ray Mears? 2019. Oh, sweet, sweet, sweet. Yeah, I've always liked Ray. Yeah, I'm trying to think of else. All right. Cool. I want to get into it. Yeah, do it, man. Just just check out Ray Mears. He's an English survival expert. He does a lot of bushcraft and survival stuff. All his videos are on YouTube. They're all well old now, but they're really cool. Just before 2020 hit. Yeah, man. Yeah, sweet. The old COVID. I was going up the woods in COVID, mate. Me and my mate were going up there. Going up to the woods, messing around up in the woods. I actually got up. I went up the woods and we did a load of coppicing. I felt a bit rough, and I was alright. You know, I was just a bit rough. And got back, and I ended up that I had COVID because I got heart failure as well. I was thinking, oh, that's me dead. But no, it was alright. I was fine. I just had a monster headache for about 2 weeks. I didn't really suffer any coughing or anything like that. I worked every day. Didn't happen in my reality. No, same. I'll just continue basically doing what I did anyway. Right, guys, I'm going to jump off because I've got some things to do. You all right, my love? Cold, though. Bit nippy. Right, yeah, I'm going to jump off. I might go on again tomorrow. I might do some stuff in the garden. Do some actual like, proper carving. So they're just messing around with pushing my gouge. So the hammer in it. I had that in December. 2 weeks in bed, headache, bed aches. Yeah. Right, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Anyway, I've got a dash, but I will jump on again. It's cup of tea and biscuit time now. So. Yeah, take care, guys. Enjoy yourselves. Have fun, and yeah, see you later.